Hey everyone, this is Austin, and welcome back to another video for Arifuru or Arifure. Whatever you prefer, I don't judge, but I do laugh. But I'm gonna be honest, this was probably the best episode so far, and it's for the simple fact it didn't use flashbacks. Believe it or not, you don't need flashbacks to explain what you missed. You could just do what they did. And it felt like someone else, the story writer board, whatever, was different this time. Like, we're gonna fix it for once and for all, and they did it. And I have to give this episode props. This series is literally slowly getting better and better, and I'm going to kind of laugh at myself because I didn't think it would, and I'm happy it's doing good so far. I mean, part of some CG, but hey, that stuff is going to be talked about at the end. But anyway, so going through the review, we see, Hajime alive. Yu actually starts to pull out the spikes out of his back, and, Hajime pours his potion on himself, and we see a scorpion show up. Then we get the whole sense of Yu isn't supposed to leave that room, and it's a big, no-brainer. And I just want to talk about, I actually really like this photo right here. It is adorable. I think Yu is adorable, but she's not my top, girl in that series. If you're going to ask me, I love the strong girl, okay? Leave me alone, and you'll see her soon to the anime onlys. But anyways, continue on. We see Hajime gives Yu his fur coat, and she calls him a eche. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, yep, we all knew that was coming. But she gets on his back, and I just want to say the scorpion just utterly beautiful with that CGI. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the opening. The opening's growing on me, actually. I'm starting to quite actually enjoy it, surprisingly. So, yeah. So we see Hajime fire a couple shots off at the head, but it's not doing anything. And I'm going to just say, Donner looks really cool in the CG. The whole reload stuff, too, is pretty cool. And, we have you starting to, suck Hajime's blood. And it's kind of funny because we kind of see Earth versus Earth. And, I'm not going to lie, I kind of forgot about Hajime losing his arm. I'm so used to the manga that I'm, kind of used to his other arm. So for the people that are anime only, don't worry, he is going to get another arm. A little minor spoiler there, but just want to let you know because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that question from the anime only soon. And, yeah, I am very, happy about this episode because we saw Azure Blaze being used, and it's a high-level spell or magic or whatever you want to call them. Everyone's to each their own. I know how it goes. But, it hits the scorpion, but it doesn't look like it did a lot of damage, but it actually nearly almost finished it off. So we see that Yu isn't doing so good because it used a lot of the magic that she had, or the mana, and obviously it's a no-brainer. It's a high-level skill that's going to take a lot of mana, or MP, as you MMORPG people know as. But we see that she actually has to use it twice, and we kind of see Hajime and Yu kind of work together, and it's actually quite good, in my opinion, to see this kind of fight. And I'm going to be honest, this fight wasn't underwhelming as the other ones were, and just, good job. I kind of wish, though, the CG could calm down. That's my only complaint. But, yeah, so we see, the little in-between moment of Hajime and Yu asked Hajime why he didn't leave her behind, and he says he hasn't fallen that far, and I kind of got a little laugh out of that one, because it's like, he's fallen quite far, but not that far. He's still a man, he still has some morals, which I know a lot of people are like, huh? Yeah, don't worry about it, but we kind of hear a little bit background information about, Yu's race, and vampires apparently were eradicated in a war 300 years ago, and, Hajime goes and assumes that Yu is over 300 years old, and she gets very upset, and she kind of explains why she doesn't age, and it's because she regenerates, and it's actually, crazy enough, as you get older, your body slowly starts to, I don't want to put people off because I know it's uncomfortable to talk about this, but your body slowly starts to, die. You lose skin cells and they die. So you get new ones. And if you really didn't have to, if you could regenerate as fast as that, look at Deadpool in his state, you'd look the same. I mean, look at Rory from Gate. She is how old, and she still looks that young, and she has the same, ability. and I like the smile. But continue on. We hear about, the labyrinth being built by one of the Mavericks, and Mavericks are the people that fought against their own gods, and each Maverick should be in the bottom of their dungeon, kind of thing. They built it to kind of combat the gods and go against them. So you suggest going to the Maverick and getting to the surface, kind of thing, and kind of, I know a lot of people are going to get probably upset when I say this. It kind of reminds me when I was playing like Zelda. You get to the dungeon, you get to the person, and you go back to the start, which, that's the same thought I had when reading the manga. I was like, oh, it's pretty cool, and I just want to mention the Apple standard anime bite effect. Really? Please? Please, guys? I know it's low budget, but come on. But we see basically the ore that, Hajime gets, he makes it into an anti-material rifle, or a railgun as some people call it, and we see Yu's kind of now suspicious of why Hajime can eat monsters and have no problem, and normal human can do that, as we know. And we kind of get the background information that we should have gotten in episode 1, and I like this better because we didn't get flashbacks. I am so happy because I am so tired of flashbacks, to be honest. We hear that Hajime's was kind of summoned by the god, is summoned by the god Ihai, and he was supposed to save humanity, and his original class made him useless in combat. And we kind of get the background information, and Yu feels bad about Hajime, and Hajime just wants to go home, and we have this nice little moment of Hajime, saying, I'm going to go back home, and he goes and asks Yu if she wants to come with him, and she kind of has a nice little moment there, and they're interrupted by, the infected monsters, and I'm just going to kind of say I skipped over the class thing because I am so tired of it, but I'll explain about that at the end. And we kind of see the flowers are infecting them, so of course, Hajime goes and tries to investigate, and Yu keeps, sucking his blood, and lore-wise, I'm going to explain with the whole vampire stuff so some of you can understand. Usually when they suck blood vampires, it's kind of a sexual thing for them, and they actually do suck other vampires' blood, and that's usually how they kind of are in a relationship, in a sense. That's kind of one part of a lore of a vampire. There's multiple ways of vampires have been perceived over time. That's the one I know. In the back of my hand, I know there's another one, but yeah. So we see Hajime finds a source of the whole infection, and I'm going to just say right here, the latter CG was a lot better than the beginning. It kind of was like, really? You had it pretty good at the end. Why couldn't you do it in the beginning? But hey, it's underfunded from what I've heard. So we see Yu gets taken over by the flowers also, and we kind of see the monster show up finally and kind of holds Yu hostage, and we see that, Yu's now facing Hajime against her own will, and this kind of has this whole thing of, he's getting betrayed again in this sense, but he really isn't. I know some of you probably will get upset, anime only people, but don't worry. But we see, the flowers actually try to grow on Hajime, and they die, because, he has resistance, and Hajime, he's a honey badger. That's all I'm going to say. But Yu tells, Hajime to shoot, and, he goes, really? I can't? And he has no problem with it, and I just started laughing like, this is the Hajime I have been waiting for. And we see that Yu is shocked that Hajime shot without any hesitation, and Yu gets angry at Hajime for doing that. And we see a little bit of information about, Yu not needing to eat food because she can get the nutrients from blood. And it was quite hilarious, this picture here, going back to, he shot. This is the persona that Hajime has, and it's been took a little while for it to show up, and kind of wish we had a more, I don't know, it was pretty good. I'm not complaining too much, but this is the stuff I like to see. Now, we of course get the whole little thing. I thought they were going to go over the line here, but Yugo, goes and says she likes Hajime's taste, and, sucks his blood again, and we kind of now get this transition of Hajime going to the 100th floor, and now we see he's kind of making a map of the dungeon, or the labyrinth, and I really like that painting reference, the illusion one. I don't know if anyone picked that up. I did. I liked it. But we see that, Hajime now makes it to the Maverick door, and my theory is possibly, we'll see Shia next. I'm hoping. I really like Shia, but overall, I like this episode the most so far. I know some people may disagree. What was your favorite episode out of the 3 so far? If you say one, I'm just I'll accept you. Just gonna question you, but overall, pretty good episode. I really wish the cut to the classmates will stop. I am so tired of it because they're not important anymore, and we don't really get anything until later on about them, and it doesn't. I don't think it fits, and I hope it kind of stops. Even though the last episode was a lot worse, this one was very few, and as I said, I skipped right over it because I don't care. I really do not care, and it's annoying. That's my only gripe about this episode. I will admit there were some flaws, but it's shown that it's progressively getting better, and I have to, appreciate it because I don't want to be negative all the time about this anime because I enjoy the series. I hope it gets better. So far, it's showing that it's getting better. I know a lot of people are going to be divided about this entire thing, but hey, what can you do? Tell me in the comments down below who's your favorite girl of the series, and did you enjoy this episode, and what's your favorite episode? But anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Do consider subscribing if you're new here. Do the whole share video if you want. I don't really expect you to, but yeah, just felt the need to say it because some people will ask me. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later. This has been Austin, and I am signing out. Peace.